Right, let's have a look. Robert Webb. If you're from the UK, you're probably familiar with Robert Webb, much-loved comedic actor, usually alongside David Mitchell, who's a very funny chap, and they've made programs together, and Robert Webb's written a book and done other things, and generally an affable and likeable kind of guy. He followed me once, Graham, for about 24 hours.
Big mistake.
I think he saw me quote something or whatever, and he saw the blue tick and clicked follow. And then at some point the next day he was relaxing, and he thought, I'll just have a look through Twitter. Oh, who's this? Oh, no. Oh, no. And that was it. He unfollowed me, which was a terrible shame. But that's Robert Webb. Now, a while ago, I think it was about a year or 18 months ago, I can't remember exactly, he retweeted an article from, I think it was the Times, an article that was critical of an organisation called Mermaids. Now, Mermaids is an organisation that helps children become their true selves, and helps set them on a pathway of medicalisation and life-altering surgery. It says Susie Green, is it Susie Green? The woman that started Mermaids? Just to give you an idea how lovely mermaids are. She did a TED Talk. TED Talks are tight, with the little microphone and everything, all happy, and she joyfully regaled the audience with a tale how her child, who was a boy, had been on certain drugs which left him with a micropenis. So when he was 16, and for a birthday present, she took him to Thailand to have genital surgery. They couldn't make a good deep vagina out of it, and she thought that was very funny. What a lovely lady. They even struggled to mutilate my child. I've heard tales of people turning 16 and getting a vagina for their birthday. Usually it would be, I guess, traditionally in the old days attached to a prostitute. Mermaids are a despicable fucking organisation. They've been insidiously moved into advising schools, terrible fucking things to the point our government here on North. Now, he didn't say anything about mermaids. He just quoted this article because mermaids are problematic. Now, he went on a podcast. Like I say, I'm not given to being conspiratorial, but why is it? Whenever we talk about things they don't like, right? Why is it we have problems? I've asked you a question.
I don't know, man.
This is really fucking weird. This is every time we get into something a bit uncomfortable. Every time. So anyway. Cheers, Alex. Do your best, mate. If it keeps going, we'll have a 5-minute pause, and then we'll come back and we'll start again. But keep us updated in there. So anyway, Robert Webb and Mitchell, I believe, went on a podcast. I've forgotten the name of it already. And isn't it like Maximum Fun or some shit like that? That Jesse Thorne podcast.
Yeah,
lots of followers. But he invited them on, and for like an hour they spoke about, life comedy and everything. Now, Jesse Thorne then decided to bring up the incident. Now, before I get into Jesse Thorne, I have a look at Jesse Thorne. Has he been up already?
Oh, yes.
Yep, there's Jesse Thorne with his quality comedy moustache. Now, he asked him about this, and Robert Webb said, look, it was a bad thing. I was critical about a charity, and everyone said I was transphobic. But why is it, it's not transphobic to say if you are critical of a service, it doesn't mean you're critical of the service users. And he was quite right. And then he said, I don't want to talk about it. Finished. And then the shit started with Talcum X himself, Owen Jones, piling in there saying he crumbled and all that. The guy doesn't want to talk about it. He knows that's a world of pain and suffering that he's not interested in. Now, me personally, I think it'd be better if he showed a pair of balls and stood up, because you can't do this halfway house with these motherfuckers. You either get down, take the knee and beg, or you just power straight the fuck through. The risk is that you end up doing a Linehan. But, you know, you got to make your fucking stand. He did. Now, people have been playing it as follows. Well, it's transphobic. It's the turf saying it was a win. And then they're attacking Jesse Thorne, which shows the wrong. But no, it really fucking doesn't. Because Jesse Thorne, who said it's scary, all this stuff. It's 2 kids. I believe they might have more. I don't know. Both of his children are gender non-conforming. One of them is definitely trans and on the road to medicalisation. That one decided it was trans when he was in kindergarten. Couldn't even say the name of the girl it was going to become. Kindergarten. But it's transphobic for me to point out that, isn't it weird that you would have 2 gender non-conforming children, given the percentage of people that tend to be dysphoric and trans? Could it be that your wife telling him, well, some boys have vaginas and some girls have penises? Why would you fill a child's head with that? They said, well, they met the trans fucking uncle or auntie or some shit, and they spoke to the child, and the child asked about them, and lo and behold, this baby decided that it was a girl. He was a girl, she was a girl, whatever the fuck the vernacular is. So to point out that surely having 2 gender non-conforming children is carelessness at best. Such terrible luck that I would recommend he never goes out during a thunderstorm for the rest of his life. But to point out that clearly there's some kind of monumental parenting fuck-up going on here is transphobic. How do you end up with 2 fucking children? Gender non-conforming. Do you know how it happens? Because the parents set that fucking pathway for them. They've listened to something, interpreted it, and put on. They might not even be evil people. I'm not saying they are, but they're clearly not up to the fucking job. If your 3-year-old says they want to be an aeroplane, you don't get wings sewn onto the fuckers, do you? If your 12-year-old daughter stops eating, becomes anorexic, you don't go, way to go, girl. Lose those last few pounds. You don't do that. That's not what being a parent is. You support them through it. I'm not suggesting you should stand there with a stick saying, you are not trans, you are not trans. No. But isn't there a middle path? Instead of just pushing them on this fucking road to puberty blockers, which, by the way, they are not fucking reversible. They're not a harmless pause. That, what's her name? Jamil. British celebrity. I don't know what she's famous for. She identifies as someone intelligent. She put a tweet out saying that, well, loads of my school friends in the 80s, which, is she that old? Were on Lupron for heavy periods. Were they? I don't think they were. I think she means the contraceptive pill, which is remarkably different to the drug used to chemically castrate people.
She's queer, you know, Hayden.
Oh, yes, queer. Straight as a fucking die, but queer.
She's one of them special straights that's queer.
She's a fucking idiot, that woman. Hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of people liked her tweet. It's become fact that children were given puberty blockers for heavy periods. That's not how this works. That's not how Lupron works at all. It's not a harmless pause. It damages people. It's a last resort. There was an actual doctor, GP, I think from the States, posting how as a last resort, he'll send the children to gender services. Before that, he tries everything else, which apparently is conversion therapy. But do you know what? It's not. Because the first thing that happens when the kids go there is it's like, right, let's get you on the puberty blockers and the hormones. A future of sterility and brittle bones awaits. And depression and cognitive issues. Basically, it fucks people up. It really does. It is a last resort. But for them, it's a first resort. Jameela Jamil, she's a fucking idiot. She really is a fucking moron. And every time she posts, Talcum X is always there going, yay. Look at him. Owen Jones. I wish we got a picture of Owen because I'd forgotten about this story. He's getting in the mood to have a kid. He's Talcum X. Getting in the mood. Oh, he'd like to have a child. So he's looking for broody lesbians. Broody lesbians. Now, I might have tapped too many buttons there. I got all excited. Broody lesbians. Now, yeah, but he went, it's just a joke. It's not, though, is it? It's not, though. He wants to find some broody lesbians to give money to. So with a turkey based day, he can pump his pitiful semen into those women and produce tiny little baby talcums. Who wouldn't want that? Owen Jones to reproduce. Now, someone said, well, that's homophobic to say that. It's not because he's gay. It's because I think he's a I think he would be a terrible father. A terrible, terrible father. Like Jesse Thorne.
You know, it'd be good, though, if he did become a dad. You know, they always get him on for, like, the newspaper review on Sky at night and stuff. Like, the instant change of him sitting there going, life is hard. And it's about responsibility. You can see all the bags under his eyes. It'd be great. The little changes in him, you know. But it's weird, though. You're right. Of all the shit that Owen Jones gets us up to, this is the thing that's bothered me the least, I think. You know, it's like, he wants to have kids? Okay, yeah.
But it's needs to find a broody lesbian.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get why people are mocking
But what I like was on Twitter, everyone's going, oh, why not a trans woman? Because they're women. And he's like, typical, using this as an excuse to be transphobic. He's, no, we're just enjoying the shit out of it, Owen, as it happens. Why didn't you go and find one of them trans women to have a baby for him?
Maybe when he's hitting 40, he'll come out as super straight.
That'd be fucking beautiful.
Like his little journey there. It was just so much easier to pretend to be gay.
I couldn't find a broody lesbian. So I had a couple of drinks, stuck it in a straight bird. And what do you know? I'm in the pub most nights with my mates now. Talking about the footy.
I'm just happy now. I'm just happy. I don't do all that guardian shit anymore.
I just go out and drink with the lads.
Yeah, you know.
Talk about football, take the family shopping on a Saturday. Get in. All the normal stuff.
That tweet of Jamelia's is still up, actually.
Of course it's still up. She's fucking shameless. She's promoting the use of a drug that chemically castrates people as being something perfectly safe and was useful when girls had a heavy flow.
She doubled down, actually. She said, no, she's doubled down to say that she's correct and you need to check with doctors. And then she's got some Wikipedia thing that she's copied, and it says, are puberty blockers safe? And it's like, they've been used for more than 3 decades to treat precocious puberty. Yeah. So she's literally shared a screen grab that contradicts her and proves that
she doesn't see that.
And she just doesn't get it, does she?
Because she's fucking stupid.
Because she's a moron. Lots of actors are really dumb. Really
she's
dumb.
Thick as pig shit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let Matthew McConaughey give me medical advice.
But I'd let him do a few things to me, though, Aidan.
I'm sure he's a lovely man.
Some of it would be invasive as well. I'll tell you now.
Would you be his broody lesbian?
Oh, yeah, I would. I can't give you a baby, but I'm going to try.